Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. This is the 103rd day of the war in Ukraine. Kiev was the target of Russian attacks against yesterday. Ukrainian troops regained control over half of the territory of Severodonetsk in the Luhansk region. President Volodymyr Zelensky visited Zaporizhia and two towns in the Luhansk region in the east of the country, where he met Ukrainian soldiers. According to the Kiev authorities, despite the receding danger, the capital is still under threat. In Sunday's shelling, missiles struck military and civilian infrastructure. Meanwhile, the head of the Lugansk region authorities, Serhiy Haidare, provided information about the Russian army's plans to attack Severodonetsk. We know from intercepted conversations that the Russian Army Command has been tasked with capturing Severodonetsk by June the 10th and are taking control of the important Lysychansk-Bakhmut route. We anticipate even heavier shelling by the enemy. We expect that in the near future they will drop all the reserves, all the soldiers and all the armaments on this section. The coming days will be hellishly difficult time. The enemy will increase the frequency of artillery shelling several-fold. At present, Ukrainian troops control half of Severodonetsk. The capture of the city, which is an important industrial centre of the Luhansk region, is now the #1 goal for Russia. Before the start of the war, more than 100,000 inhabitants lived there. Now their number has decreased to about 13,000. In order to surround Severodonetsk, the Russians last night attacked Lysychansk, 10 kilometres away. The Russian bastards again shelled the centre of Lysychansk. Residential buildings and infrastructure were destroyed. We are documenting their criminal actions. We are working constantly. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the attacked towns yesterday, among them Lysychansk and Soledar, as well as Zaporizhia, where he met soldiers. I went to the Zaporizhia, where I met soldiers and presented them with state decorations. I was acquainted with the situation on the defence line. I met the head of the regional administration and the police, with residents of Mariupol. We must live for the children. Ukrainian troops are not only heroically defending themselves against the onslaught of one of the world's most powerful armies, but in places they're going on the counter-offensive. Over the past 24 hours, further losses have been reported on the Russian side. In total, since the start of the war, the Russians have lost more than 31,000 troops, nearly 3,500 armoured vehicles, and 211 aircraft. One topic that is still high on the international agenda is the food crisis that has been exacerbated by the war. Its immediate cause is the Russian blockade of grain-filled ships in the Black Sea ports. Vladimir Putin said he would not use trade routes to attack Odessa, but this is the same Putin who told German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and French President Emmanuel Macron he would not invade Ukraine. Putin cannot be trusted. His words have no substance. Kiev is looking to set up an international mission to help unblock Ukraine's maritime exports. The idea is to withdraw the Russian fleet and provide guarantees for the safety of shipping. The Kremlin agrees, but in return demands a lifting of sanctions. The United States and the United Kingdom are not considering such concessions. Poland's president has said cooperation between the 12 countries lying between the Baltic, Black and Adriatic Seas, which together form the Three Seas Initiative, will help to protect Central and Eastern Europe from Russian energy blackmail. The International Three Seas Initiative Congress has started in Lublin to work out the strategy to fight the continuing economic crisis. The Polish festival returned to Connecticut after the pandemic hiatus. Yesterday, crowds of New Britain residents came to taste Polish food, listen to music and spend time with friends and family. Local politicians were also in attendance. New Britain Mayor Ernie Stewart welcomed those gathered, as well as Senator Richard Blumenthal. There were around 70 stalls with activities for children and adults, all in a place with one of the largest Polish communities in America. In Little Poland, there are 100 companies that work for the Polish tradition. The festival was attended not only by Poles, but also Americans of other origins.
I'm happy to see that everybody's following their traditions here in New Britain, Connecticut. And I just want to say that I'm very appreciative that the culture is still existent. And because of the Pulaski Foundation and the parade in New York City coming up in 2022, we're looking forward to a lot of people showing up to support us in New York City and to enjoy a festival of great times.
Some came from distant states and other places.
I live in East Hampton now, so we came down for the festival, but we come down to Roly-Poly, for the holidays, and we still do our Polish traditions.
Oh, pierogi's my favorite.
And the pizzy.
And the pizzy, that's right.
Members of Polish newspaper clubs from the United States were also at the festival. Marilyn Czarnecki sold Polish books and promoted local businesses. We have such a small Poland here. People do not feel that they are far away from their country. There are Polish shops and restaurants and bookshops. This is a very important meeting for us, especially for those Polish companies that promote themselves here. I think that this is another success of the Polish community in New Britain. We expect 20,000 guests, and the organisation of this event can only be praised. We are working to ensure that the festival is not just a culinary or folklore event. We want it to be a place where Poles of different generations may meet, get to know each other, and feel our Polish atmosphere. Polish Americans have made a great contribution to the development of the United States, blending into the multicultural landscape of the country. Polish entrepreneurship, adaptability, love for native traditions, and the ability to work hard are also an advertisement for Poland. From New Britain, Małgorzata Schulz. The 9th edition of the Little Poland Festival, which has become one of the landmarks of New Britain, a town whose centre is home to Polish shops, restaurants and businesses, has come to an end. Crowds came to Connecticut yesterday to taste Polish food, listen to Polish music and spend time with friends and family. There were also many politicians and government officials taking part. Małgorzata Schulz was there. Apart from the war in Ukraine, the main topics being discussed in the Congress are energy, scientific cooperation and the economy. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, in his opening speech of the Congress, pointed out that Ukraine is a business partner and a future member of the Three Seas Initiative. We spoke on practical measures of the Three Seas region, how to strengthen our countries. And yes, we also discussed what will happen when Ukraine wins that war, because Ukraine must win this war. The event was held under the honorary patronage of President Andrzej Duda. In his letter to the participants, he emphasised that in the Three Seas Initiative, it is important not only to cooperate at the level of presidents, but also governments, prime ministers, ministers and local governments. The creation of a stable and crisis-proof energy, road and rail links between the Three Seas region and Ukraine will be a priority in the near future. I express this opinion emphatically, despite the fact that there is still a war going on in Ukraine. Ukrainian ambassador to Poland, Andriy Jeszczyca, also participated in the talks. During the panel discussions, the involvement of the Three Seas countries in the reconstruction of the country were discussed, as well as assistance in food export, which will help to mitigate the effects of the food crisis. Even if Ukrainian ports are unblocked, we must have an alternative, and that alternative could be the transport of grain and other Ukrainian goods via Poland. The Three Seas Initiative enables the member states, among other things, economic independence from Germany and local cooperation between individual regions of the member states. If we had not built the gas port, the Baltic Pipe and other infrastructure, we would not be worse off, but hopeless, completely at the mercy of Putin. The Three Seas Initiative brings together 12 European Union countries for international economic and political cooperation. The group consists of Austria, Bulgaria, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, Slovakia and Slovenia. The Three Seas will become a strategic partner for other players, even global ones, not only Anglo-Saxon states such as the United States and the United Kingdom, but also China, for example. Today, as never before, we have a unique opportunity to build Polish-American brotherhood. The Three Seas Initiative is currently one of the flagship projects of Polish foreign policy. The vision of joint development is also important for other members of the initiative. The cooperation undertaken within the framework of the conference enables modernisation and development of the whole region of Central and Eastern Europe. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.